we are about to turn this into this. And before I walk you through the short time it took me to build this, but the long time it took me to organize this garage, I just want to say that there's a few videos out there already that show people building some benches and organization units just like this. Why is my video different? Well, this video is different because this is not a professional garage. This is not a professional setup. This is a DIY. I'm working in my utterly crazy garage, and you'll see all the time lapse. It took us 4 days to clear this thing out, but you'll see that here. And you're going to see me go through all the struggles of someone who really just has a home garage. It does a bunch of stuff in it, and it gets overpacked, and you've got to do something like this to make it actually usable. So stick around, and you'll see this awesome build. But first, all of this needs to be cleaned up and moved out. The plan is to take this down and use all of this wood to rebuild a new shelf with special tote holders. And then there'll be one tote holder there and another workbench and shelf over there. So with the workbench over here, and we'll save that for another time. So we'll start somewhere doing something. Well, that was going to take way longer than expected, so I really just moved everything over here, stacked stuff over there, even though that's going to get rebuilt as well, and then cleared this out because this is where it's going to go. But here are my plans. I'll try to throw a picture up here. I'm going to make a stacking shelf for all of the black and those command whatever black and yellow bins, and that's going to go here along next to the door. And then there's going to be a small, it's only going to be 28 inches. So a 28-inch bench. And then there's going to be a 32.5-inch closet, basically. It's not going to be closed off. I don't plan on closing it off, but this one's only going to be 6 feet tall because I've got attic access. So I'll be able to use that platform to get up into the attic. It's going to be set off some. So this storage rack is going to be 30 inches deep, but then the rest is only going to be 20 inches deep, so it's not going to be that deep. But yeah, here's the plans. I'll throw the photo up again of these plans. I'll try to talk through as much as I can because I have to be on a Zoom call in less than an hour, so I'm going to get cracking on this. Just to show quick, I'm going to cut 4 pieces of 2x4 at 86, and then 4 at 23.25, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 at 30 inches, and then I'm going to build this. And I'm going to use framing nailer so it can go much faster. But again, with the picture, I'm going to put markings at 15, 32, 49, 66, and 83. And it's going to be 20.25 inches wide. So I don't have 20.25 here, but on the other one for the other side is 20.25. So knock that out. So I went ahead and marked these. This is the bottom: 15, 32, 49, 66, and 83. And again, so the first one's at 15 and then basically 17 inches for each other one. So some of these, as you can tell, are varying height boxes. This should accommodate all of them. And I'm not too concerned about being perfect here. I also wanted a good round number. I said people having some weird half-inch variance and whatever. I'm going to make this simple. I'm going to go with 30 inches. I'm going to go with 15 and 17 inches. And I'm going to go with, as much of round whole numbers as I can to make this, work well. So I'm going to lay these out and then just start nailing. that took me much less time than I thought. I'll level it up once I get the rest of it built. But yeah, it took about 30 minutes. So far so good. Let me keep cracking along. Well, so far so good. It took me about an hour and 10 minutes. 10 minutes late for my class. Still got a shower, but almost done here. This is a really old piece of butcher block. That's going to go here. I've got some pegboard for this side and this side. So we're going to get a little pegboard there. And then 2 more boards here. And I grossly overestimated. It only took me 16 boards to do this. And this is what, 7 foot total. So not bad. But I'm going to board to go across here, and then I have a pole. Hopefully one of those poles over there work. I think they will. And then piece of plywood out there. It's going to go up here. And then we'll be able to start moving some of this stuff over to here. Some of these over here. And then get to this one next. But, yep. You'll get to see me finish this up here soon. Anchor it to the wall, level it up. And we'll be all set. So yeah, I don't think I need to show leveling it up and anchoring it to the wall. But if I find lighting and power solutions, I will definitely show you what I do. But we're close. There we go. About to anchor it to the wall now. Got some number 12 by 5 5/8 screws. A couple of spacers that are going to go back here. And then I know we got a stud here and a stud here, and I'll show you one of them and how I'm going to do it. There it is. Got some shelves. It's lagged to the wall. Can load up some of these, start stacking those, but that part is so far so good. This one won't take long either, but I just need time. Here's the aftermath of all those boards and those boards. So this was that shelf here. Shelf was way too deep, mostly to manage the bigger plastic totes lengthwise. So even the 30 inches is narrower than what it was. But let's show you the plans for this one before it gets too we gotta leave soon, so it doesn't matter too much. So I'll try to take a picture of these as well and post them. But here are the plans for this one. This one is going to have 2 sets of, so we got more space here. This is closer to 8 feet. So where we made one there, and as you can see, we just moved everything there, and now it's still a mess, but it'll look nice when we're done here. So we're going to make 2 rows of those. And then there's going to be another workbench, 2 shelves, and that's it. So it's going to be pretty simple. And this is a picture of what this shelf looks like. Because again, as you see on this one over here, it's going to be very similar to this and that other small bench where that long piece has to come across so we can nail it to the piece there. But on this one, you saw me cut the notches. I did not have that in my plans for those notches right there, but didn't take long, just a few minutes. I don't know if this other one has to do that either. We'll see, but yeah, it turned out pretty good from what you can tell from there. And then we're going to build this one, and then we'll reveal the whole thing once books we loaded up. So we have what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 7. And we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 6 and then 6. So we got 5 more of these and we'll be good. But then we'll have storage there. This will have storage at the top, so it'll still have storage. And then the way I designed it as well, this is just enough room. It's only 60. Well, yeah, so you'll be able to put two of the bins long ways up there. So that's it. I made a quick audible on my design. Plus, I set up a little jig here to cut these 30s. So literally just put one to 30. Found this extra board that was laying down here and a couple screws in it, and there it is. But yeah, what I'm going to do is this one and this one. Obviously, this space here is workspace, but down here, since this is a standing height 32-inch or 36-inch table, I think I just put another shelf down here. So I'm going to put another shelf down here at 15 inches on both of these. So I'll have to build another one of these and another one of these here, but then we'll have even more shelf space. I was thinking about it and I'm like, it's just wasted space. So that's the plan. I'm going to keep going, which means I need, so all these plus these 3 plus that one and the other one. I need 25 30-inch boards. So I've got, and you guys maybe just lose count, 16, I think. I'll count them again. But there we are. It's going smoothly. And I'm just going to cut everything here. It worked yesterday. I don't have to notch anything on this one, but I'm going to cut everything. And then I'm going to start nailing it together. Hopefully I don't run out of nails. Because what we got here? I'll be pretty close. Should be good though. So get cracking. Another tip, have this Irwin quick grip clamp. And when working alone, I mean, it's always nice to cut 2 at a time. So if you have multiple measurements, so right now I'm working on these 45s. I need 4 of them. So I should be able to get, if these are 90 inches long, I should be able to get 4 of them out of these 2 beams. But I just take this bar here, set it against, flush, make sure these are flush against the bar. And then I just squeeze it a couple squeezes and make sure it's tight. It stays pretty good. I haven't had one slip yet. And then I offset it just slightly so that I can run my tape measure down and still make my measurements. But that's a quick tip for cutting 2 at a time when you don't have any help. Nice weather we're having. But another quick tip here. I'm currently on these here, and I'm cutting these 57-inch lengths. I just ran off, so I still have a couple of these, but I just did all the 24s and I just did all the 30s. They're all there. But when I cut these 57s, and I've got to do 6 of them, I'm going to have a bunch of extra board left. Before I do that, so one thing here, this is how I do my measurements. I go on the far side of my measurement. So the line, so I'm not on the center of the line. I'm just on the far side of it. Hard to see maybe. So my marking is not on the line. It's just past it. And then when I cut, I'm going to make sure the saw comes down and takes out the whole line. And then, just at the line and then no more. And then that's right at 57. So be sure to know where you're putting, because if you put it right in the center, you got to split the line. If you put it on this side, you got to leave the line. So I just make it so that I cut the line and then I put that little mark there so I know that's the side that's coming off. And then I'll have this over here. But the other part I was going to say, looking at this, what you can do, you probably can even just take this photo, and you might need a few extra items, and just plug this right into AI, so ChatGPT or Grok or Gemini, and you could actually, I think you can upload the photo, and it'll probably tell it what type of lumber you're going to use, and it will probably do an amazing job of telling you which ones to cut to maximize it. Because I got a couple that are a little bit longer, and if I had cut the smaller, these 21s, I might be able to have the 24s out of this. So AI could have told me exactly what to cut, and I think that would have been a pretty cool way to do this. I didn't. Maybe next time I will. For that mess over there, actually, I'm not. It's gonna not be as involved, but that would be a very interesting way to do this, and you could do this to 100% maximize your lumber, so you don't have any extra. I've got a little bit there, but not too much, and I've got to use some of it, so we'll have a few boards left, but not too bad. But that would have been great to do that. But well, it's looking good. I had a bunch of leftover wood from this old rack, and I'm just using it. I obviously want something nicer, something thicker for the workbench. This is not quite long enough. I thought about a 2x6, but I don't have enough that's a 2x10. I don't have enough of that. But I'll figure something out. I still have some stuff here, or I'll just make this thick or something. I don't know. But it's looking pretty good so far. Like I said, I called a couple of audibles. I made this one a little narrower. It probably won't fit a box now, but whatever. But I made this narrower. Let's measure it, see what we got. We need about 16 or 17 inches. No, whatever, it's fine. But we should get a box down here. My thought was I had it lower, but it just didn't feel like I'm 5'8", and I've got a couple inches here. So if I'm standing here working, I didn't want to hit my head. So I raised it a little bit. That was the biggest thing. But we could get boxes up there if we have to, or all this long stuff up there. But I have standing space for the long stuff now right here. And yeah, more space down there, more space down there. So this is going to be, like I said, woodworking. So this is the woodworking side. And obviously we got to keep filling those up, slide them in there, clean all this up, and I'll get a good after shot. Once it's cleaned up, I'm going to go clean up a little bit, have something for lunch, and also maybe swing by Walmart and check on some lighting options. So definitely lighting, power. Like we reused, so I used the last of my 2x4s, and I think adding this lower shelf, and then I built the one over there for over there. That used the rest of my 2x4s, which is good. I think we had 20 for that side and 24, I think, for this side. Or 20, yeah, 25, 24, 25. Blocking my own thing. 10 and 10, 20. 20 and 20. So I counted and had roughly 20 already here. And then we bought 20 for over there. We had a couple left over, and then making these last two shelves, it's probably like 22 2x4s. And like I said, if you use AI, you might be able to optimize how much wood you use. So you can use even less. But this has got to get raised. I'll raise this just a little more so we can get some more space here and nail these down. But it's looking pretty good for, you know, the garage being just a mess and working with what I got. And it's actually going to be more space for the car over here, because this is already much deeper. Well, it's coming along nicely, but I keep moving stuff from here to there and not necessarily from over here, but we'll get to that. Got this other shelf in. Went ahead and put the hanging clothes rack there. So we'll have a bunch of clothes in there. Got this pegboard up. Obviously got to set this pegboard off the wall a little bit so you can get the pegs in there. Did the same for over here. I bought 4 of these, so this one's full. And then here's what was left of those 3 over there. But they fit over here, so I'll have some good room. I don't know what I want to do for this bench yet. I thought I might do 3/4 plywood. I don't have enough of it. We're going to do over there, it's going to be an actual counter once all that stuff is reorganized. But maybe I'll do it here too. Don't know yet. I'll take a look. But that's ridiculously expensive for the purpose of this. I'll spend more on the counter than I spent on all the wood to build this. So I don't know if I want to do that, but we'll see. And everything else is coming along. So I need to get a power bar. I can't decide if I want to go along the bottom or along the top. But I'll have a power bar and then a light up here. I think will be pretty cool. Nice and set there. It'd be pretty nice lighting. And then I'll have to find a smaller one here because this is like 25 inches or something. So this light will have to be smaller, but I can get one there too. So not a big deal. That plug, I think I'll do the same thing. Get us maybe a smaller plug thing, maybe something with some USB or something over here. Then a light up there. So that's the plan. Well, one more step closer. Just went to Walmart. These were like 15 bucks each for each light. This one's a pull chain. Lights this area up real nice. And this one has a little flick thing here. Well, it's all in the time lapse, but decided to get over here because all the stuff was just getting piled up here. So I said, screw it, move it, organize it. So I don't know if the quick view you got, but this is obviously bonus. Focus are those 2 shelves. That metal cart and that wooden drawer unit were switched. Now I can use these drawers. That one goes under there. Got another project up there. Well, let me give you a look at the end of day 3. It's looking pretty good in here. That's kind of getting where it needs to go. There's still a handful of stuff here in the middle. Those benches don't look good yet. Ordered a 300-piece set for 20 bucks of all the little bins and hooks and stuff. So I'm going to organize that tomorrow. Yeah, the first 2 days, first day was only a few hours. Second day, also only a few hours. We had to do some things in the afternoon. But, building these, that one took like an hour and a half. This one took like 2 hours. They don't take long to build. It's all the rest that you probably saw in the time lapse of us just cleaning and moving and cleaning and moving. So that's why this is raw. This is real. This is, us taking a garage that's hopefully like yours and not like those pristine ones with the hexagon lights, looking all nice. And, us really doing it for real and showing you the down and dirty. So pretty soon, hopefully tomorrow, organize this and a bunch of all this shelving and a bunch of stuff on Marketplace. See if that sells. maybe make a little bit of our money back. We'll see. But yeah, I can walk through a few things here. First, we did go back to Lowe's and buy 2 of these. They're 48 inches by 3/4 by 6 foot. I think they were $30 a piece, something like that. So this one is 5 foot long, and that one over there is 6 foot long. And then I needed 2 more 2x4s for the legs. I was going to do something like that, but decided to go higher and give me a better, just use the whole thing. So I think that worked out better. But other than that, all of these other pieces are, you can see a mix match of mash-up of that. That one doesn't even fit, but it's bigger, so that's good. Don't even have one there yet. This is a piece of that plywood there, which I think I was actually supposed to cut and put here, but whatever. So yeah, we just mixed and matched and mushed and was able to save everything we had previously and actually make shelves. So that saved a good bit of money there. So, probably 60 or 80, maybe $100 more in plywood. Well, all right, guys, here is the finished product. Still a few things to put in the shed, a few things to sell, but I did sell my wire rack. I did sell some plastic roll that I was trying to use to build isinglass around on the boat, but this one turned out really well. Got some stuff hanging in the pegboards, using the table already. Put the engine there to look like a fancy engine. There's nothing on the shelf there, so I can keep my fancy Iraqi freedom flag up there. And then again, I got the laser engraver here. So eventually I'll be able to use that again. This grinder is not plugged in. It's going to go somewhere else. I don't think it's going to go here. But like I said, my laptop up here to run this laser engraver and do some of that stuff. Got a lot of stuff hung up here. A lot of my woodworking tools here. Some stuff for the RV we'll get to in the next few weeks. So we'll have some more space even. And then, yeah, this little box of all this stuff still here. So got quite a bit of it. It came with all these little bins. Got a couple bins over there. All the hooks that are already up here. That was only $20. So that was a really good deal. And then I got this light and that light. If I didn't already say, look, got the lights at Walmart. So yeah, pretty easy. Walmart buy, pretty cheap. And then this power bar, went and got a Lowe's. So again, I would say I spent more on the wood lumber or less on the lumber than I did on the accessories. So probably more than almost double what the lumber cost, what the 2x4s cost, then the lights, and I think the pegboard was almost more expensive than half the rest of the project, but turned out great. We already had these bins. We didn't buy any more. We do have space for one more. We've got an empty one that has some stuff in it, and then the trash to take out, and then another one down there that's in the house being emptied. So yeah, it turned out pretty good. Even hung the boxing bag up. So yeah, so the fiance walked in here and said, holy cow, it feels huge. And obviously you saw the car in here in the first place, but we're still going to have room to pull the car in and have extra room. So obviously he's got the engine there and just a few little sections of his parts, and I'll be able to clear that off and put some stuff up there as well. So we've got space. I've even brought my other thing we bought with these bags. Already had a couple of these. So all my old military uniforms are all packed up here and protected so that I can do stuff in the garage and they're not going to get damaged, even though I have no idea. Maybe one day in the future I'll wear this one to a special event. But I have no plans right now to ever wear these again. So that's where I'm going to keep them. And yeah, this thing looks good. Everything looks great. So hey guys, thanks for watching. This turned out great. So for more content, one of the things that I'm really excited about is now I have room. I think I'm going to try to pull my son's car and get his engine in, get it moving around, and then start taking apart that hovercraft. Get the hovercraft in here, put the engines up here, and get them running first, bring the hovercraft in and get that thing going. Because I want to, strip the body down, make that thing look nice, put it back together, and take it for a ride. And I'm hoping that doesn't take 6 months. I'm hoping it takes more like 2 or 3, but I have no idea because needs a lot of body work. But thanks. Hopefully this inspired you to not just build one shelf, but two. And I think like you saw, that one only took me like an hour and a half to build. It just took me 3 days to organize the garage. This one didn't take me long either. I trusted my design. I trusted my measurements, and they turned out great. You know, I don't know if I mentioned it, but like I said maybe before, you know, these could have been 2x2s instead of 2x4s, and you would have saved money. It would have been a little easier, but just all 2x4s. Just had to buy 25 2x4s, no other guessing, no other counting, 20, 25, and it worked out. So thanks for watching, guys. Like, subscribe. There's a bell in there, it does a thing. Those are all free, and I'll catch you on the next one.